Michelle Bradfield. I do have two businesses. The one is a computer graphic design called Design Origin, which I have been on my own. I started it in 1999, so it is quite a while. And my other business is called Eventtiming, and we do online entries, registration, and race timing. I am a director of that company, and we've been going since 2009. I grew up on the Bluff, went to a very public school. I went to Grosvenor Girls. I matriculated in 1982, and whenever anybody asks me, I always say I've got a QBE, qualified by experience. I don't have a formal education, but I don't believe that you have to, if you want to persevere and you want to do something, I don't believe that that degree is a be-all and end-all. I got into graphic design purely by chance. I worked for a company in the office called Proforms. They are no longer. And I was in the costing department. I was in that for 2 years. And they did like business forms, a lot of business stationery, printing and so on. When I first started, they still did the old darkroom and the typesetting and all that type of thing. And within the 2 years that I was there, that was probably the early 90s, I happened to go to a company that had just bought a computer, and someone was actually working this computer and doing graphic design and setting the forms. And I thought, I could do this. And then at the time, my boss had wanted to venture into it. And I volunteered, and because he knew me by that time, he knew me for 2 years already, so he knew what kind of person I was. He took the plunge, spent a copious amount of money in those days, bought the equipment. I did a 2-week course. I didn't even know how to switch the computer on, and I just fell into it, and I just enjoyed it, and it just came very, very naturally to me. With Eventtiming, this was always a dream of my husband. He is a long-term runner. He has run Comrades, and he just felt there was a better way of doing timing than the old manual, having to type it up. With the bigger races, they did always use a permanent plastic chip on the shoe, but it is costly. So he wanted a way that he could bring a cheaper version to the smaller clubs. So we've got disposable chips so that it is cheaper for the runner. And he wrote the program, and then I kind of fell into it. I was helping him, and I got more and more involved until we are now like 50-50 in the business. I handle all the day-to-day running of organizing, planning, and race numbers. I've got to plan sometimes 6 months in advance. What race numbers are going to be used. It's got to be coordinated. We've got to buy in advance. So it really is a day-to-day. I am busy 7 days a week on that business. With timing, it does mean basically almost every weekend, if we do have a race on, we normally go in on the Saturday, and it depends on the organizer how long they want you there. It could be from 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night. And we handle the registration. All the runners come in and they collect up their race packs, and there's always stuff to be sorted out in terms of payments, and then we do take late entries. And then the day of the race, we could get up at any time from, say, 2:30 in the morning. It could be a long day. With the races do start a bit earlier during summer, so obviously we are a bit earlier. But then some races, if we do an ultra marathon, the runners can be on the road for 7 hours. So we are there from like maybe 3:30 in the morning, and we are there for like 7-8 hours at least, waiting for those runners to come in and for the finish time to run, which is normally on an ultra is like 7 hours. With the long day, it can be very tiring. By the time I get home on a Sunday afternoon, I am finished. I'm a very practical person, so I'm not like most people that have these huge dreams in terms of fairy dreams, I would call them. I'm very practical, so I I believe I can achieve just about anything, but my dreams are realistic. The funny thing I find a bit strange is that I am in computer graphics and I've done a lot of magazines and all that in terms of layout. And one of the things as a child is I wanted to be an editor of a magazine. So I just found that very strange that this happened well into my 20s before I actually got into computer graphics. And, you know, as a child, you've got these ambitions. I mean, at one stage, I wanted to be an actress. I mean, now I'm so camera shy. I don't know how that ever was. And because I was always the drama queen. And then by high school, I thought, well, I'm going to be an accountant because maths and accountancy was my strong point, which is very odd because now I've gone into computer graphics, which is completely different end of the scale. Although I must say that my maths does come into being quite strongly when I'm designing and when I'm doing layouts, because I can work out angles and measurements and things like that, which I think I do have an advantage when it comes to that kind of thing. You would never think that maths and computer graphics would match, but they actually do. When it comes to event timing and running and so on, what I've seen a number of athletes that are disabled. And when I see what they achieve and the rest of us go, oh, we can't do that, I think that is very inspirational when I see what people endure to just do what they want to do. But I feel that's with anything. If you really want to do it, you can achieve it. I think I impact on my businesses because I believe in getting the job done, and I just get down and I just do it. And if I don't know how to do it, I will figure it out. So whatever needs to be done, I'm very strong and very disciplined in whatever I do, and I think this helps with both jobs, because you've got to have discipline, I feel, in whatever you do, and that is my strong point. I believe my achievements in my business for computer graphics, I've done things that I really did not know how to do, and when I get my end result, that has given me incredible satisfaction. That I can actually do things that you never ever thought was possible. With event timing, just the mere fact that I've taken on, again, all stuff that I'd never entered into before, and I've learned a lot in terms of the computer and data and all that kind of thing. So I think that is my achievement. The timing is a lot bigger and a lot harder than what people think. It's not just a case of it's not easy to take your time over the line. There's a lot involved and it's very draining. You've got to deal with public, which I do like every single weekend, well, just about every single weekend. And not everybody understands how it works. You have to repeat yourself 100 times because you've got to realize that sometimes these are new people and they don't know how it works. So it can take its toll. Physically, there's a lot of physical work, and also mentally with dealing with the public coming from all specters of life. It is a very challenging job, and I feel that every runner should actually be involved in organizing a race, and then they'll see actually what goes into it. It's a lot more than meets the eye. I overcome these challenges by just finding a solution to the problem. If there's a problem, there is a solution, sort it out, and that is how I live my life. To young women following in my path, just stick to your guns. When I get back to my education, and I say I've qualified by experience, I don't think lack of education should stand in your way. If you apply your mind, there is so much that you can do. Nowadays, it's very fortunate that you can go onto your computer and you can Google, and if you have a problem, you can find the solution. So just stick to your guns and you will find a solution. You can do whatever you really want, and don't let things stand in your way. My future goals, that's also a difficult one in terms, obviously, I'm getting on. And I think if I could just stay physically and mentally strong, I want to be able to do what I'm doing for the next 20 years. So I just need to stay active and just stay relevant with everything that is happening, and just keep up with the times. Technology is a bit of a challenge, but you've got to expose yourself to these different issues, and Google is amazing. They will give you any answer you want. You will find it. And obviously, when it gets back to my computer graphics, I am dealing with other designers and so forth that do send me work that I need to finish off ready for print. So they might have some way of doing something that I will receive this artwork and I won't quite know what they've done, and I am able to unravel it and kind of go back to the base and see what they've done, so that I can give a finished product that is print ready. I have a very, very busy life. We work sometimes 7 days a week. We work days and we work evenings. And we normally say, okay, well, I'll do computer graphics in the day because I'm dealing with the company and they want results all the time. And then come 5 o'clock, then it's we move ourselves and what we call the other office, which is in front of the TV, and then we start the event timing. And that's my after hours job. So it takes a lot of time, and it is very intensive in terms of hours. In terms of relaxation, I've always believed in exercise. I have exercised for 40 years, more than 40 years. So I am a very much firm believer in exercise. I push weights and I run, and I just feel that is also what has kept me going, is my exercise. I don't have a lot of time to do a lot of other things. I always say I've got no spare time, because any spare time is packing pins and packing race numbers. We do employ other people as well, but a lot of the stuff does fall on me. I like nothing better than to go out and have a nice quiet meal and a nice glass of red wine, and that kind of does it for me.